This week's episode of the Cicadafest Concert Series promises to be unique. 3 of the festival headliners sat down this past July for a song swap. Carolyn Mark, John Evans, and Houston Marchman traded songs and the stories behind them.
Yeah, I think it comes from Ireland, or maybe that part of the world, and it just stems because they told stories in their songs. And Scottish and Irish music, came over and crossed and merged and mingled and did all that, and it's still part of our culture in the sense of storytelling, and it's regionalized in some cases, but in other cases not. And so that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think that's the tradition.
What's your approach to it personally?
Same thing. The song swap is where I started as far as playing publicly, and so yeah, I enjoy them, and it's always good. You want to always kind of keep working on your craft, and so when you hear guys, and there's always somebody better than you, that thought of something you hadn't, and so that's always fun because it challenges you and makes you better.
Do you come up with a general idea of what you're going to play, or not necessarily?
A lot of times in song swaps, what you're currently working on, or you just finished a song, or if there's an album that you're recording, you always want to play your new stuff because you feel like, hey, I'm working on my 11th album, so some of those songs I've been playing 20 years, where I'm going, okay, I want to play something new, and so sometimes you do that.
So you try out some new material, see how it goes over?
Right, and just try new stuff and make sure you like it.
Do you find there's a general curiosity about what led to the songs that people hear?
They do. A lot of people, and it's, the singer-songwriter thing is not for everybody. Some people aren't into the lyric, and that's cool. But the ones that are, telling the story of why you wrote it can really make it, it's a lot more personable that way to a lot of people, and they enjoy the stories.
Songwriters like Marchman, who pride themselves on their art, take offense at the current state of the music industry.
It's forced out. It's owned by corporations that control what's played all the way back to what's recorded at the artist level. And so after you do that enough, it becomes insincere, in my opinion. Not every time, but in mass, in stereo, when you think of it in mass, because we've all turned on the radio and go, what was that? And so I think that said, the counterculture that we offer, and as long as it survives and is a going business entity, will work. And the internet helps out as well.
After 2 decades as a touring musician, Marchman now finds himself mentoring the next generation of singer-songwriters.
There's one of my heroes, his name is Steve Fromholtz, and he wrote wrote a lot of great songs, but he had a hit with Willie back in the day, and I saw him last fall, and he pat me on the shoulder and said, pass it on, and I went, what? Because he's a little older, and but what he's trying to say is, yeah, we are. It's incumbent upon us to try to help the kid that's 19 that's looking at me like, and they come up to me and go, well, how'd you do it? And I go, what? I just wrote songs, got in the van and drove, basically.
Tune in this Thursday at 10 p.m. and again Sunday at 6:30 p.m. for this special episode of the Cicadafest Concert Series.